welcome to Room 210 News, your place to find out everything that's going on in our school and in our classroom this week. Just a reminder to please sign up for the Spider-Man of 210. We are super excited to start that project up this coming Monday. Thank you to everyone that has already signed up for that. It is just such a great way to bridge the home to school gap and just make sure that students are writing about what they're doing at home and being super intentional about things that they're doing at home. And so that starts this week, tomorrow the 22nd. We have someone signed up for that. The dates that I have listed right now on the Sign Up Genius go from tomorrow all the way until, I believe, March. It could be February. It's either February or March. So pick a date that works best for you. If you don't obviously know that far in advance, just sign up for a date, and if you need to change, you can. So, but it's just really great. You'll be able to see the book when it comes home with your child. It'll have all of last year's class and what they did with him, and then what I did with him this past week, and then all the students that came before you. So just make sure that you sign up as soon as possible for that. Progress reports go home this coming Friday, the 26th. So please just make sure that you are reviewing that, thinking about any questions that you may have, and then returning to school on Monday, the following Monday signed, so that we know that you received it. If you are interested and able to donate snacks for our community snack bin, that would be greatly appreciated. Just please let me know that you're planning on sending something in. Anything that's pre-packaged is easier, but I can make really anything work. We're just grateful for any donation of snacks that you may like to provide. And then finally, parent-teacher conferences are open now, and so the sign-up link is going to be in this week's message. So please just click on that and select a date that's either going to be on the 30th or the 31st, a time that works best for you and your family. The dates the times on the 30th are afternoon times, so they're running from 3 until 7 p.m. And then the times on the 31st are all day, so from 8 o'clock until 3 o'clock. They're 20-minute conferences, so it's going to be quick and to the point. Have your questions ready prior to your conference so that we can be sure to cover all of your needs and that I can share all the information that I need to share as well. There was one more thing I meant to tell you that I just kind of forgot to put in. If you were at Curriculum Night this past Thursday, thank you so much for coming. We loved seeing you there and loved sharing with you about what your child was going to learn. If you were not able to come to Curriculum Night, you got all of the materials in your child's folder on Friday, and the presentation will be linked in the message today for you to review. As you're reviewing the presentation, if you have any questions or have any concerns about anything that you may see in there, just let me know and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. Up next is Looking Ahead, where you will hear all the things that are going to happen in the future of our school and in our classroom. Mark your calendars for September the 30th, as it is Fall Picture Day. This is the picture that will be on the class page and in the yearbook, and then they will also be available for you to purchase. So just make sure that your child is coming dressed in their best that day and ready for Picture Day. And then finally, make sure that your calendar is marked for October the 2nd, as that is a teacher work day, and there will be no school for students. Up next is Curriculum Corner, where you will hear all the things that your child is going to learn in the classroom this week. Our attendance fact for the week is that we provided you a great document in your child's folder on Friday about how sick is too sick. So please make sure that that's going somewhere prominent in your household, such as your refrigerator, or somewhere where you're going to be able to reference it often to know whether or not the symptoms that your child is exhibiting would warrant them being out of school, being sick, or if they were able to come to school with those symptoms. Also, another fact for you is that if your child is going to be out, whether they're sick, have a doctor's appointment, or any other reason, if you'll just let me know via Dojo or email, then I'm able to print the message or the email, and that can count as your child's excuse note if the absence is one of the excused reasons. So just make sure that you're staying in communication with me about where your child is if they're out. That way I can go ahead and get that submitted to the office so that the absence will be excused if it is an excused reason. In Eureka Math, we're continuing with Module 1 this week, starting Topic C. The module covers multiplication and division strategies in 0, 2, 5, and 10. And so we're going to be learning different strategies on how to solve multiplication. This week we're going to be really focused on the distributive property, which is tends to be a concept that is a little more challenging for students. So I would really recommend that you do the math pages in their homework book this week. In Foundations, we're continuing Unit 2, which covers adding suffixes to the ends of the word. So students are going to have to identify the base word and then the suffix. So if the word was benches, they would have to know that the word bench is the base word and es is the suffix. And so we're continuing to work on that. Continue practicing with the at-home support this week, just to give your child the most exposure to the curriculum as possible. Something about the at-home support, it covers the entire module. Typically, a Foundations module lasts probably about 2 weeks. Sometimes it's a 3-week module. Unit 2 is a 3-week module. So it covers everything. So you may come across something that your child doesn't know. And if that's the case, you can do one of two things. You can either, one, you can try to help them through it and try to teach them the rule or try to teach them that part of the Foundations curriculum. Or you can just wait until we've taught that particular skill in Foundations, and then your child will have some familiarity with it. So you can kind of guide your decision making on that, on whatever works best for you. And then finally, in reading, we are beginning to talk about main idea in detail this week of nonfiction texts. We'll be using various nonfiction passages about ocean animals, and students will have to identify the topic, the main idea, and details to support the main idea, in addition to writing a short 3 to 4 sentence summary about the entire article in chronological order. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Room 210 News. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. If not, we'll see you right back here next week for another episode of Room 210 News.